Take the classic Metroid and Castlevania route of gameplay and modernize it into a funny, lighthearted indie game. A perfect example of this is Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. While this might be my first time playing Shantae game, a series that goes back to the Game Boy Color in 2002, I don't feel like I missed a beat. The story is simple. Save your town that your simple-minded mayor gave away, and stop an escaping and imprisoned pirate king from wreaking havoc on the world. While going through the beginning of the game, you start to get the hang of the controls pretty fast, and it seems like it'll be easy to go from here to there in the game. But then there'll be a point where you get stumped. For me, it was all the way in the first level where you have to wake this dragon thing up. Once you figured out what you had to do, it starts to make sense. The game is all about giving you clues on what to do and for you to figure out what they mean. Is it something I can do now? Is there something that I need to go back for? Do I have the right equipment to get past this? Speaking of which, your tools that help you out is the pirate gear. You get a gun that helps you hit targets, a scimitar that lets you ground pound, a hat that lets you float, and boots that help you run faster. But your most helpful weapon is your hair. Hair that'll make Will Smith happy. These weapons also help you against the bosses you face. Most of the time, it will focus on the weapon that you received in their level, and it'll be up to you to figure out how to use them. This makes bosses both fun and a little challenging at the same time. Except for you, Dagron. You were just annoying. The worlds that they protect though are all fun to explore. There's never a part that feels out of place, and the art for them feel like they fit the tone of the world perfectly. In these worlds, you're going to collect heart squids and cackle bats. The heart squids help with increasing your health, and cackle bats help by unlocking the true ending. Yes, the true ending. If you go into the final boss without this, it just feels unrewarding. If I had to say a thing that really surprised me in my enjoyment of the game, is the characters and their interactions with each other. It's always interesting to see what they're going to say to each other next, and it's always nice for a good laugh. Then there's the music, which is amazing all the way through. I mean, I've been having the game's music play throughout this whole talk of Shantae, and it always draws me into the game and the adventures I'm having. If I'd recommend a shorter game that's nice for a fun but challenging time, it'd have to be this one.
Celeste is like climbing a mountain, literally. It's one of the hardest games, but not janky Dark Souls hard, polished hard. I mean, look at this. Trust me, I'm a credible source. No one is beating this their first try. You play as a grill named Madeline, who can do
4 things and everything that ever lived.
Run, jump, dash, and climb. Now that may seem simple, and you'd be right, but so much is accomplished with such basic controls due to the incredible platforming. It only gets harder and harder from the bottom of the mountain to its peak. Along the way are obstacles that really add to the overall experience. You got these bubble things that you jump in, and depending where you point your joystick is where you go. Or these space blocks that you dash into and fly out the other side. Or even these blocks that only move when you dash. But my personal favorite are the greenish yellow gems that recharge your dash. It makes it feel like I'm a true gamer. And with how cool it looks, I think I am. Gameplay aside, that's not why I wanted to play this one. I came for the story. I think most of us battle with some sort of mental illness from time to time, and that's no different for Madeline. Panic attacks, depression, and anxiety are a big part of your journey for fighting against the part of yourself that the mountain's magic amplifies. Now these are all sad ideas, but the whole point of climbing the mountain is to overcome them. There's one sentence that really hit home for me. It's when you're talking to the main antagonist of the game, yourself, or Madeline. In the mirror temple, you're transported into a world in your own mind, with every bad thing trying to destroy you. It's important to keep in mind that it's only just in your head, inside and outside the game. As I'm letting this conversation play out, what stuck out to me was when Madeline said this, implying that Madeline has given up, but a few moments later, she tells Madeline to shut up and keeps climbing and moving forward. To say this is the worst it gets, well, I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. This is one you should pick up and play, not only for the feeling of being rewarded for beating a hard puzzle or some difficult platforming, but for the story. This game takes something we all have and showed us that we can face it and become one with it. Not many games put a smile on my face when I beat them, but this one did.
If Celeste has helped you come to terms with mental illness, I just want to say that you deserve credit for that. That change came from inside of you, and you're capable of a lot more.
Now, we were only making this video because of Tunic.
Yes, if you made it all the way to the end, you triggered my trap card, Ultimate Offering.
I mean, its real effect doesn't matter because if you offer time, which is more important than what it does.
But if you're wondering what it does, during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, you can pay 500 life points, normal summon, or set one extra monster. I had to look that up. Now, this game was announced at E3 2018 in a quick trailer. It caught my eye, and I don't have much to say about it. I just want to make you, yes you, Sam Elliott, aware of it.
That's a bit of a stretch.
So from what we've seen in the trailer, because that's all we really got so far, is that you play as a fox with a sword. Cue that in. Cool, isn't it?
The game kind of reminds us of Zelda. I think that's why it grabbed our attention. Now, I need to make it clear. I never played any of those games, and I don't like them. Proceeds to receive hate.
Now, we watched the gameplay demo, but we don't want to spend too much time on what we saw, and want to spend more time talking about how we feel. Therefore, we'll do a 7-hour, 43-minute, and 9-second review of the game when it comes out.
Now go watch the Zelda remake so you know what we're talking about. Nintendo announced that on February 13th, 2019. And we're worried that it will kill this game. And we don't want that to happen. For some reason, we're drawn to it. And we're hoping you will be too.
Peace!